started back in end of 2014. And I'm here because Betty's invited me, ApplyBoard invited me to talk about Durham College, tell you about what we have to offer, what sort of programs we do, what's the career span, and what are the activities we do around student interaction and participation, and their journey from here to Canada. I'll rest the rest of it right now and start with the presentation that I have. So we're called Durham College of Applied Arts and Technology, formed in 1967, about more than 50 years old, to schools of Center for Food, Science, Engineering and Technology, Business, IT and Management, programs, skill trades and apprenticeship, also programs in law, a few programs that we do, programs like diplomas, advanced diplomas, graduate certificates and compressed fast tracks are a few programs that we do at Durham College. So, starting about Canada, where 30% of Canada is taken up by forests and 90% of the Canadians live within the 100 kilometers of the United States border. Canada is bilingual with both English and French language as its official language. Well, the second largest country in the world has about 1,453 airports in Canada. Very cost effective to stay in Canada as compared to the other countries which are a student destination as well, with tuition rates considerably lower than many other countries. The cost of living is about 10,000 Canadian dollars a year, which is your residence and food. That residence is usually on a shared accommodation basis. And the food, if you can cook, maybe around 300 400 Canadian dollars a month. Approximately 800 to 900 is what you need to manage yourself for a month in Canada to stay at a shared accommodation and cook food or get food for the month. So coming back to the college, established in 1967, Durham College has 3 campuses, the prime one being at Oshawa, which is about 60 kilometers from downtown Toronto towards the east. It takes about 45 minutes by driving and an hour by the GO train, probably an hour and 15 minutes by the bus. And Durham College is part of the SDS with the Student Direct Stream, which means any undergraduate program, the IELTS requirement will be overall 6 and no module less than 6. So the 5.5 is out of the picture here. Durham College boasts not only of the 85% employment rate, but also an employee satisfaction rate of 93.8% in the GDA, one of the highest. More than 12,000 students are currently studying at DC. We also offer pathway articulation programs to complete a bachelor degree at the University of Ontario Institute of Technology. I am sure a lot of you understand what a pathway program is. They do the 2-year diploma at the college, need to do a bridging semester. The minimum grade requirement is B, and they enter the 3rd year of their bachelor degree, finish the 3rd, the 4th. In 4 years, total 9 semesters, get an applied diploma as well as a bachelor degree from UIT. Having said that, more than 140 full-time courses available for international students. Durham College shares the campus with UIT, the university I'm talking about, probably 15 or 16 years old, is on campus at Oshawa. So the student does not change the city, does not change the campus. If you're doing the pathway program, you're studying at the college building, you leave that building, move out to the university building on the same campus. Also provides free airport pickup service and residence to students from Pearson Toronto Airport. The variety of programs that we offer are business, culinary, emergency services, engineering, technology, mechanical, electromechanical, electronics, biomedical, biotechnology, pharmaceuticals, mechanical, non-destructive testing, general arts, health, horticulture, technician, food and farming, hospitality, hotel, restaurant, operations management, culinary management, information technology, artificial intelligence, data analytics of business decision making. We run about 35 to 40 graduate certificate programs. Having said that, the minimum requirement to get through to a graduate certificate program for most of them is a 50% in the undergrad bachelor and an overall 6.5, no individual module less than 6. Programs in justice, media, art and design like web designing, interactive media design, journalism, mass media, advertising, digital media management, advertising and communications, science and skill trades and tourism programs. Like I've already mentioned, the IT Management Health Programs, Oshawa campus, which is just 50 minutes away from downtown Toronto. It's the sole automotive capital for Canada. We had the General Motors at Oshawa. The plant's unfortunately shut down now. However, if one player moves out, we expect more to move in and carry the legacy forward. So if you go to the city, you'd see most of the people in the city would be repairing their cars at the backyard, doing their mechanical auto stuff on their own. That's the culture of the city. The entire family at the city we usually employ at the General Motors, most of them you'd see would know how to get cars repaired and done on their own. About 150,000 people are majorly student population in Oshawa. The other campus is called the Whitby campus, which is our center for food, offers culinary, hospitality, horticulture and special event programs. Approximately 900 students study at the campus. We run a 3-star rated restaurant of our own at the campus. It's called the Bistro 67, or the front office and the back office in the kitchen, managed by the Durham College students. We have our own food farms, so the horticulture technician, food and farming program runs at the same campus. The concept at the restaurant is a field to fork concept. Like if I'm a guest and I go and place an order, and if it needs vegetables that need not be stored, the student would leave the restaurant, go to the farm, pick the fresh vegetables, get it back to the kitchen, and start preparing the dish. That's called the field to fork concept, available at the CFF. And the last is the Pickering Campus Learning Site, opened in September 2012. It's on its way to Oshawa, so when you leave downtown Toronto, the midway would be Scarborough, and the Pickering campus in Ajax, then it'll be Whitby, and then it'll be Oshawa. Pickering offers only 4 programs: Addictions and Mental Health, which is a graduate certificate program for students who've done a BA Psychology Honours. It's a Addictions and Counselling Health program, Human Resource Management, Victimology and Youth Justice from the School of Justice and Emergency Services. Previously I was talking about programs that we do, like certificates, diplomas, advanced diplomas, graduate certificates. They're 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or a 1-year graduate certificate. When we talk about certificates, there are 2 sorts of certificates, done at the undergraduate level, one done at the postgraduate level. So the minimum requirement for a graduate certificate and a compressed fast-track program would be the same, is a relevant bachelor's degree to be able to get into the program. Also I have to mention the arrival services we offer for the students who get to Canada. We pick them up for free from the airport. If they want, can be dropped to anywhere, an address of their choice in the Oshawa city. They can pick up a 2 nights free accommodation. They can choose both or choose one of these. There is no charge to avail the service, but if cancelled, we levy a 220 Canadian dollar charge. The idea is to make sure that you live by your commitment. If you've agreed to take the service, which is free, we're okay to give it to you for free, but if you miss it, then you pay for it. Other than that, we help you finding a temporary accommodation near the campus. We can tell you what places to go. You stay the 2 nights for free. You can start looking for your accommodation. We can tell you what places to go, but you're the one who's going to call the shots. You speak to the landlord yourself, you agree to the terms and conditions, and there you go. Also assistance in finding long-term accommodation. We have an on-campus residence guaranteed for the first year for students who'd like to book the accommodation, which is a bit more expensive than staying off-campus. It's 1 apartment with 2 bedrooms, a kitchen and a living room shared by 2 students. Amounts to at least 900 Canadian dollars a month only for the residents, another 420 minimum for the food, which comes out to 1,300 to 1,400 Canadian dollars a month. We don't mind if you stay off campus, if it gives you more life. I can also get you the same going on in 800 and 900 Canadian dollars. At the student orientation that happens when students done everything from here, travel to Canada 5th or the first Monday of that starting month, the student orientation helps the student to get a student identification card, a health insurance card, setting up a bank account, working in Canada, assistance in finding local housing, how to get a cell phone work in Canada, and sign up for your Durham College Mail, DC Connect, and My Campus accounts. Also, how to be successful at Durham College. There are workshops that help you understand how your studies are going to relate to your future job, what you need to do to be a better professional in the industry. In addition, when you do the program-wise orientation, there is an international orientation for all the students and there's a program-wise orientation. You'll be able to meet the professor and classmates, find out more detailed information about the program, meet the student services team, and discover a number of on-campus services available to students. Enjoy many fun activities on the campus like the Campus Cup Pep Rally, movies on the lawn, the Welcome Barbecue, and the Fun Fair. I was talking about accommodations. These are numerous options available to students both on and off campus to suit a range of budgets and lifestyles. Oshawa campus's accommodation in the Simcoe South Village residence, where the South Village residences features a cafeterias, study recreation areas, and furnished 2-bedroom private suites. And suites include cable television, kitchenette with a fridge, microwave, internet access, telephone, and it's a 3-piece bathroom. Sorry, I had to mention that. At the Simcoe Village residence offers the choice between furnished double rooms and semi-divided for privacy and furnished suites with 2 private bedrooms. And the West Village residence offers featuring beautiful apartment-style suites designed for students. But the accommodation is around 875 to 900 Canadian dollars minimum. That is what you're looking at. The schools that we run at Durham College could be the Center for Food, where the hospitality culinary programs run, and a special events program as well. The School of Business, IT and Management, our popular programs would be Information Systems Security, Computers and Networking, Project Management, Artificial Intelligence, Data Analytics, Human Resource, International Business Management. All of these are graduate certificate programs. We also do a program in Music Business Administration, Sports Business Administration. At the Health and Community Services programs like Social Services Worker, Early Childhood Education, very popular in this area particularly, Practical Nursing, Dental Assisting programs, and a few to talk about like Developmental Services Worker, Personal Support Worker. The School of Interdisciplinary Studies, Justice and Emergency Services, Media Art and Design, Web Designing, Interactive Design, Journalism, Advertising, Digital Media, Marketing Communications, Public Relations, and Science, Engineering, and Technology, like I mentioned. Engineering programs, all engineering programs need a grade 12 math. Our business programs did need a grade 12 math earlier, but except for accounting, we've removed the grade 12 math now. You're okay with the grade 10th math with 60% minimum. You can study any undergraduate business program. For a postgrad business program, there is no math requirement. School of Skills Trades Apprentice in Renewable Technology. Once you get onto the website, you'll be able to see detailed programs, the courses, the admission requirements, which may be a little difficult to comprehend because it is worldwide. And we've shared our material and our training with ApplyBoard. If you have any concerns, you can always get to them in regards to requirements of the program or the eligibility for the student. A few points you may want to note down for your entry requirements is a 5 years gap is not acceptable. So could be a cumulative 5-year gap, not more than 10 backlogs and reappears in total. Minimum 50% required for 10th and 12th for the undergraduate program, and minimum 50% required at the undergraduate bachelor degree level for a postgrad or a graduate certificate program. As for most of our undergraduate programs is overall 6 with no module less than 6, and IELTS requirement for compressed fast tracks and graduate certificate programs will sit at 6.5 and no module less than 6. We offer scholarships, something for students to take away from us, but completely IELTS-based entry scholarships. An overall score of 7 fetches them about 500 Canadian dollars, and a 7.5 is 1,000 Canadian dollars, and overall 8, 1,500. The minimum, nothing less than 6 or 6.5. Sorry, 6, because that is the requirement as the lowest band. Only available for the first year to be credited in the second semester of the first year. So the student pays the fee, goes from here, gets the money credited into the account. They automatically qualify for it if that's the IELTS score. They don't need to fill up anything. Important information, very important information that we expect from all of you, all our partners to do, has to be a complete application. No conditional offers are issued by Durham College. So if somebody who wants to apply for an undergraduate program must have a grade 10 and a 12th passing mark sheet with the passing certificate, no incorrect information. Be very careful while you're filling up the application. If there is an error on the application, the offer letter that will come out will not be printed correctly, which you may not be able to use to apply for a visa. Getting that offer letter corrected is 15 days. If you want the application to get delayed, but nobody wants, not even us, it's work for us, make sure you're entering the details as per the passport of the student. No address from your end, only the address on the passport. Student contact details, which is the phone number and the email address, please, has to be mentioned correctly, should belong to the student. We need to communicate with the student for him to know a lot of things that the student should be prepared for before he gets to Canada. If they don't get the email, it's quite possible sometimes programs have been called off and student was not informed, and which created a ruckus for the agency as well as for us and for the student. So we expect from you to mention correct email addresses and the correct contact number. The student is completely yours. We're not going to take away the student from you. That's why we've signed up. Just make sure these details are correct. Your application, the turnaround time is minimum 4 to 6 weeks for an offer to come. That is what we take. It could be earlier than that, but that's the maximum turnaround time. For every application that you make, there is a $100 application fee, which allows you to choose 2 programs in the same intake. So I could be applying for International Business Management as my first choice, and as a second choice, I may want to take Project Management, being a commerce graduate myself. You will be given an offer for the first choice that you choose while making the application. However, if the seats have run out for the first program, we have more seats for the second, we can make an offer to you for the second choice. Helps you more, you have a choice. What if the first one runs out, you still have a relevant program to study as the second one. Document requirement for the application is the high school transcript and passing certificate, which is grade 10th and 12th. High school, secondary school, diploma and passing certificate, college or university, individual transcript and degree certificate, proof of English language proficiency, IELTS, academic, only for Durham College as of now, and a valid passport. Your IELTS should be valid at the time of the start of the intake. So if the start of the intake is 5th September and 29th of August, your IELTS expire, you may not get an offer. The IELTS should be valid in the month of September, at the time at least till you reach Canada. Once you step into Canada, you've done the immigration. The next day, it's okay if your IELTS expires. Like I said, Durham College with a 93.8% employer satisfaction rate, 86.2 student satisfaction rate, and an 85.1 graduation employment rate last year. We tried to make things more easy for the student. Even you want to make things more easy for the students. We came up with an idea that we want to give the student an app. It's called the Durham Assist app. It's available on Android and iPhone as well. There are a lot of activities that happen on the app that educates the student about what's going on in Canada. For a simple example, what's a loonie and what's a toonie? That could be the basic question for you to understand what's there in Canada for you. A few activities where you can win yourself a free ticket from Air Canada, other merchandise and other things. A Sony Walkman, a headphone. I'm from that era that I used Walkman. The last handy thing I used from Sony was the Walkman. These are your links. Ask your students to please download them. They can sign up. In 3 to 4 working days, we register them on the app. Once the students register on the app, you'll be able to connect with other students who are looking to study a similar program. Also have a chat facility available on the app. See their programs, the details of their programs, how to register for classes, when to pay, the fee receipt to be uploaded, the visa that they've received needs to be uploaded. We know that everything's complete for the student and students ready to come to Canada. Once they book their tickets, they can upload the flight tickets as well. Book the arrival services through the app. Get a free pickup from the airport, get dropped to Oshawa, stay at the residence for 2 nights for free, and start looking for the accommodation. Thank you very much. That sums up my presentation. Welcome to Durham College.
Thank you so